We are back, y'all. We are back. We are back. We are back. And guess what, y'all? Nancy Grace, she got more to say. I'm so proud of my white sister, Nancy Grace. My goodness. I'm gonna add a call in. Feel free to call in if y'all got something to say. I'm gonna open up my phone line for this live stream. Yes. So let's react and see what Nancy Grace gotta say today. I'm here. They're blowing up the timeline. You already know the ex-Trump lawyer. Okay, and mind you, Trump lost that lawsuit, right? He lost. Honey, he's talking about we got two witnesses. Two witnesses, they don't know nothing about these witnesses. Two witnesses that was together and allegedly they saw Nolan Wales. Now, these are the same two witnesses said that black guy, remember that photo of that dark-skinned dude walking on a beach after 4:30, and the Cajun Navy was like, oh my goodness, this must be Nolan Wales. And they brought it to the public, and we could literally see that's not Nolan Wales. Well, the witnesses they have are the same witnesses that said that was Nolan Wales. And that's why they felt comfortable with pushing that narrative. And hello, I guess the witness must be one of those white people that think all black people look alike, that think all Chinese people look alike, that think everybody looks alike because we're the same complexion. Newsflash. And first of all, Nolan Wales is not even that same complexion as that dark skinned dude on the beach. Okay. So let's see what's going on. I need all my hitters. I need y'all in the comment section. Honey, don't look at me. I need you guys to engage. I need y'all to feel it. Okay. We are in this journey together. When I tell you your grandkids going to be reading about this story, this case is going to make it in the history books. This is going down in history, folks. All right. All right. So let's play. All right. Hey baby, how you doing? How y'all doing? Glad that you guys are here. So we catching Nancy on real time. We're gonna stop and go, and we're gonna be bombarded by some ads. So you know how these ads work. So brace yourself, fool. Okay. Come on, Nance.
As Nolan's mother is investigated. Why? And tonight, possibly.
That's sad. First of all, Nolan mama didn't kill Nolan. Hello? But she's investigated. No. Why ain't the white boys investigated? You know why the white boys not investigated? Because they got money. Money talks. They got political power. That talks, especially in the Trump era, when if you his favorite, then you're going to be protected and covered no matter what crime you do. Okay? So that's all that is. They want to silence a mind by shutting her up. That's what that is. I tell you what it is, Nancy.
Even more important, where is Nolan's phone? Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Nancy Grace. Nancy on the case.
We want the truth about what happened to Nolan Wales.
Yes, we want the truth, Nancy.
Around 5 p.m.
I'm on the side of finding out why everybody got back to the mainland except Nolan Wales.
I don't think they've cooperated at all. They do not have Nolan's phone. They haven't had access to Nolan's phone. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department has it. So how can you say that there's text missing or there's photographs missing? Our boys had no reason to do anything with.
Yes, they did. They try to cover up a murder. So, of course, they're going to go through his phone and delete different stuff. And then who's going to believe, who would trust that police? Do y'all trust Mississippi police? Press 4 if you do not trust Mississippi police. I would not trust Mississippi police, the same police that before the autopsy, they said this is a no foul play. You know, nothing to see here, folks. You know, no foul play is gone. He drowned without the autopsy. It's no water in his lungs, but the police and the governor and the state of Mississippi saying, oh my goodness, he drowned, which is a lie. It's so many black bodies in Mississippi that they're finding high or, hung on. Oh, that they find it on trees. I got to watch my words because for whatever reason, social media, I guess, got a word from Trump and they were like, listen, if they talk about Mississippi bodies and trees, we want to silence them. We want to ban them. You know how they do it. They don't want us to talk about that. They're silencing us. Isn't that sad? Yeah, it's really sad.
With Nolan's phone, other than give it back to Christine and her friends later that night. So anything about missing text messages or Snapchats is completely false.
Big question. That is Tyler Cox representing the so-called friends of Nolan on Horn Island. And if he's claiming that no one see the phone, how does he know that something's not missing? So that's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Let's hear that one more time from our friend Dan Abrams.
I don't think they've cooperated at all. They do not have Nolan's phone. They haven't had access to Nolan's phone. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department has it. So how can you say that there's text missing or there's photographs missing? Our boys had no reason to do anything with Nolan's phone other than give it back to Christine and her friends later that night. So anything about missing text messages or Snapchats is completely false.
That's a veteran trial lawyer. That is Tyler Cox. He's representing the young men that were on the boat that took Nolan to Horn Island and came back without Nolan, according to them. Joining me in all-star panel, I'm not saying Cox is right or wrong, but what I am saying out to Brandon Tatum. Tatum, former police officer, Tucson, star of The Officer Tatum on YouTube. He has interviewed Nolan's acquaintances that were on the boat that day. Officer Tatum, thank you for being with us. Let me talk about this one moment. We've got so much to get to. I'm going to try to be brief. Tyler Cox stating, I don't think they cooperated at all. I think he's talking about Nolan's family. They, I guess, the sheriff's office, haven't had access to Nolan's phone. Well, can't they subpoena that? It's called a subpoena ducis tecum. You're familiar with those. You've testified in court. A subpoena ducis tecum is, we hear about subpoenas for testimony. I've been subpoenaed. Yes, go to court and tell the truth. A subpoena ducis tecum is for an item, an object, a document. The sheriff can give out a subpoena ducis tecum or get a warrant for an object. So you don't have it? Fine, get it. Next. So how can you say I'm quoting, how can you say there's no text message or photo, as a text message or photos missing? Our boys had no reason to do anything with Nolan's phone other than give it back. So seeing anything about missing texts or Snapchats completely false. Well, according to the mom, Officer Tatum, she says that there was nothing sent out while Nolan was at Horn Island, which she found very odd. I have no reason to disbelieve her. So how can you say there were missing or there weren't missing? I don't think you can say it either way. Why don't they just get a search warrant and go get the phone? You know what? Forget all that. Officer Tatum, where is Nolan's phone? Do authorities have it?
Well, from my understanding, authorities do not have it, and the family have not been cooperating with authorities to give the phone over. According to the testimony or written statement from the lawyer that represents the family, the Nolan Wells family, he had made mention that he's prepared to cooperate, but they have not cooperated yet, which is very interesting to me. You want to find out what happened to your son. You would think you will be doing everything you can to cooperate. I can't judge her. I don't know what's in their mind, but it just seems to be very off-putting for them not to at least give the phone over and do what exactly they told the world they were going to do, and that is to allow a forensic extraction of his phone. Therefore, the world can see if there is things that have been deleted. I think Tyler Cox is very clear about what he's saying, that the boys had nothing to do with it. So if there is anything missing from the phone, it had nothing to do with them. Now, I'll add this. When you look at what Christine said.
But you cannot say the boys had nothing to do with it because you was not there, right? Press 1. If he cannot say the boys had nothing to do with it, you can't say the boys did X, Y, and Z because you were not there. So you cannot say that. You saying the boys have nothing to do with it is me saying the boys had everything to do with it. It's the opposite of that. You can't say either or. Y'all talk about, well, we want to be neutral. You got to be neutral. You can't be protecting the boys when you don't even know you wasn't there. You're just taking their word for it. Come on now.
Said,
Brandon, whoa, bit. I'm going to go right back to what you're saying, but you're saying a lot, and I want to address each thing so we don't leave anything out. Number one, you just stated that basically. Correct me, you can paraphrase this any way you want to. It looks really bad for Nolan's family not to hand over the phone. Do you have any independent knowledge they have not handed over the phone?
according to their lawyer that wrote a statement, and the statement was, we're prepared to cooperate, but that was as of the 11th. Therefore, they have not cooperated. Tyler Cox has made mention that he don't believe they cooperated whatsoever. He don't believe they cooperated whatsoever as well. So
extrapolating, you're taking the words, Tatum, that their words that they're prepared to cooperate to mean they haven't handed over the phone. Isn't that true?
I'm putting everything together, right? We have Tyler Cox that's coming out and saying that he has no indication whatsoever they've cooperated. The family has not come out and said that there's any findings. And then also the attorney that represents the family is saying that we haven't sent or gave the phone over, but we're willing to. And that was as of the 11th.
No,
so it appears that there's no indication that.
Brandon, you may very well be a lot smarter than me, but I can hear. Okay. The statement was, we're prepared to cooperate, I guess, from Crump. That does
I'm not
not
sure
mean
if it was.
We have not handed over the phone, but we will.
Well, Nancy, when you put it all, you have to put the totality of circumstance together. I'm not there to be in the room with the investigators to determine, but I'm just going off of what knowledge we have and that's been given to us that's available. And what Tyler Cox is saying, and I'm taking him at his word, he's saying that there's no indication that they've cooperated. The lawyers that represent the family is saying we're prepared, but they did not say that they've cooperated whatsoever. So I'm looking at the statements that are produced, and all of the statements indicate that there has not been a cooperation with the phone being extracted from investigators. Therefore, there is no true determination that things were missing from the phone. Well, I mean, we have no other. We have no other. We have nothing else to go off of.
We're prepared to cooperate. For all I know, that means we'll come in for questioning. We'll let you search his belongings. It can mean anything. That does not equal we have not handed over the phone. But hey, you know what?
Nancy, this has been.
That's right, Nancy. That's right. That has nothing to do with the phone. We are cooperating. So they are adding shit. They say we're cooperating with the police or whatever. So they take it as, oh, you didn't hand over the phone. That does not mean that. You see how they lie and they add to it. But when it's the other team, they want you to be well, that's not the facts. They pick and choose. This is bull crap, y'all. And I'm glad Nancy is really getting to it. She getting to the bottom of this. What do you guys think about this comment? Let me know. Look at his face. Look at Brandon Tatum's face. Do y'all see that face?
In weeks.
You say tomato, I say tomato, because it kind of doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. Actually, I'll let an expert tell us why it doesn't matter. To Heather Barnhart joining us, digital forensics expert with Celebrite. We learned all about Celebrite during the Alex Murdaugh trial. That's how we got everything off of his dead, murdered son's phone. And the SANS Institute, SANS. She is one of the preeminent digital forensic experts in the country. She helped crack the Brian Kohberger case, and she is co-author of Practical Mobile Forensics, now in its 4th edition. That means that many people have used it. Heather, thank you for being with us. If the phone, I don't care where it is. Okay, actually, I do care where it is. I want to know that it's been handed over. I don't have to have the phone to know what's on the phone if it's in the cloud. It looks like an iPhone to me. So my argument with Officer Tatum is academic. It doesn't matter if I can get it from the cloud. So Nolan's phone missing. So what? I can download it. I can get it.
Data will exist in the cloud if he's syncing to iCloud and third-party applications. However, having physical access to the phone is where the databases exist that will have the truth on deletion. So you really need to get a full file system extraction of his phone as quickly as possible. So if it's not handed over to authorities now, it needs to be, because this was over a month ago now.
Do you have to have the phone to do the extraction? What about the cloud?
Cloud data is different, and there's a lot of information there. There could be unique information in the cloud that's been removed from the phone, if anything was removed, but it's best to have both cloud and the phone to paint the entire pattern of behavior and to see the truth.
Heather Barnhart, please don't move. Back to Officer Tatum joining us. Tatum, obviously, we want the phone. I think you can download it from the cloud, but she's the expert. She's saying it would help to have the phone. So don't you understand why? And I'm not saying this is true. I don't know that it's true. I don't know that CETO call is real or fake. I don't know. It's murky. You know, Tatum, when I would try cases, especially complicated cases, I would start out the trial with a big jar full of water and silt. And I had it sitting big on my counsel table day one, right beside my Bible. And in closing arguments, the first thing I would do when I started closing arguments, I'd take that jar and shake it, and it would get very murky. You couldn't see anything. And I'd sit it down on my counsel table, and argument would commence. And by the time I had gone through all the evidence, I'd go over to my table, pick it up, and say, see, it's not muddy anymore. It's crystal clear what happened. My point is, we don't know. So all the haters attacking you, attacking me, attacking the cops, attacking the friends, attacking Nolan's mother, for Pete's sake, we don't know. It's unjustified. Now, to my question. Don't you understand why people are suspicious? Because Nolan's separated from his phone, which no teen does. I get it, why he didn't have it in the water. I get that. I dive, I swim. I just went swimming with the dolphins with my twins. And yes, my phone was on the boat. But then I got it. I didn't let the boat take off without it. So at least you can admit that's why people are curious. I'm curious.
Nancy, I think it's because people are out putting out misinformation, and they don't have the totality of circumstances because they haven't heard from the boys, didn't watch the interview and all of this stuff, and they feel that it's convoluted. It's very straightforward to me and very clear in many areas that the boys are saying they did not have access. Christine, Nolan's mother, is not saying unequivocally that things were deleted. She was surprised.
Child, he done skipped over that part. It is weird that they were leaving. They said, Nolan, get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm going to stay. And neither Nolan didn't say, I need to get my stuff. I need to get my keys. I need to get my phone off the boat before y'all take off. Neither the boys say, well, if you're going to stay here, then here's your keys and here's your phone. That's normal, right? Press 2 if that's normal. So he just bypassed that because he cannot defend that. He cannot explain that. But anybody, if a boat is leaving and your shit is on the boat and you're on an island and you know you don't have anything because you just came out the water, the first thing you're going to say will, give me my belongings, my phone and keys, my keys to my car, my keys to my home is on your boat. I need to take my belongings with me because clearly I'm not going to see you tonight. And clearly I'm going to do my own thing. You guys going to be your own thing. I don't know where you guys going to be for the 4th of July at night. When I come back, who knows what party you're going to be at? Who knows? Give me my things. And if anybody considered to be a family or friends have somebody's stuff in their car or boat, and they're leaving and they say, well, come on. And the person say, no, they're going to stay. Then the person in the car or the boat was going to say, well, take your phone, girl. Here your phone, here your keys. Here's your bag. Here, take it. We always have our phones. Our phones is connected to us. It's not an afterthought about the phones, okay? Clear as day.
That things were not present. Therefore, she insinuated that things may have been deleted, but she did not really say that the phone was deleted. And the fact that they did not communicate with both sides, meaning that I wish that the Nolan Wells family would have communicated with these boys instead of me, would have talked to their lawyers instead of me, then therefore they could have gotten a good perspective. The boys made mention in the interview that I did with them that they told Christine, Nolan's mother, that they had his phone and his keys in their possession. Therefore, she came to get them. They turned them over. They have no access to his codes. They have no reason to delete his phone. They're claiming there's nothing that was deleted. They gave a fair explanation as to why he left the phone on the boat. Nolan wasn't the only individual to leave the phone on the boat. He wasn't the only Black person to leave the phone on the boat. So that, to me, dispels the racial component. He was with them. Multiple boats came out. Traditionally.
No. Ain't nobody going to. How do you leave the phone in the boat and you take off with my phone and the keys? He left the phone on the boat because he took a swim. That means that if I leave my phone on the boat and I'm taking a swim, I plan to return to the boat with my things. Okay, we don't know what happened afterwards. We did hear people talking about Nolan dead on that boat. That's what we did hear. In my mind, I believe Nolan did get back on that boat, and Bart and the other boys got into it with Nolan, and they unalived him, and they transported him from Wyatt's boat to Bart's boat because it was 3 or 4 different boats, and you guys have not accounted for all 3 to 4 different boats that was with you guys. All right. So I think that's bull crap what he's trying to spin it as. Comment. I want to know your thoughts. And why did they wait late night to tell the mom, hey, I got your son's phone? Soon as you realize Nolan phone is here, that's when you call and say, hey, I want to let you know Nolan left his phone here. He said he was going to stay on the island, and you should have did that around 5:00 as soon as you hit the land. That's what common people would do, okay? Because this is your family, this is your friend, that the mom is probably worried about her son. The mom can't call her son because you got her shit. The son can't call the mom because you got their shit. So call the mom. If that was my friend, honey, I would call the mom. If that friend was like a family to me, I would call and say, hey, such and such stayed on that island and I got their stuff. I just want to let you know. So if you want to come pick it up or you want me to come over there and drop it off to you, I will. But they left their car keys and they left X, Y, and Z. I will let you know that as soon as I got on land. As soon as I realized that he left his stuff here and he's out on an island by himself, that's just rule number 1. But the fact that they waited tonight to say it, I mean, that's just suspicious.
If you don't leave on a boat you came on, you can leave on another boat. They're all going to the same location. So it's not that bizarre that he left his phone. The phone was returned to Nolan.
That is very bizarre that he left his phone. If you're making a conscious decision to stay on somewhere, then you're going to make a conscious decision to take your stuff with you. It's like leaving someone on a whole different city and they don't have their phone with them. The first thing you're going to do, well, give my phone. Well, give me my bags, give me my X, give me my Y, give me my Z.
These are best friends of Nolan. They hang out almost every day.
Hold on just a sec.
He spent the night over their house.
Everything you're saying, but now we're getting to another topic. I hear you, but Tatum, the boat. Has the boat been searched by cadaver dogs and scent dogs?
The boat, from my understanding, has not been searched, and
why aren't they participating with the police when it comes to the boat? Why aren't they participating with the police or whoever they're supposed to participate with when it comes to the boat? It's been over a month and we still haven't inspected that damn boat. Why is that, I wonder? You want to get on the parents about a damn phone. Hell, the phone didn't unalive Nolan, but we can see that Nolan was unalive on that damn boat. Why can't we get the boat? What y'all waiting on? You see that? But now he got to look in the sky, and I don't know.
cadaver dogs were made available for Benjamin Crump to utilize them to do a search on the boat. They refused.
Crump is not supposed to use the dogs. It's
there is no reason to search
everything on Crump.
Listen, Nancy, there's no reason if there's not any evidence of a murder, there's no reason for them to use the cadaver dog.
What? They are under suspicion. That's why they're doing your interviews so they can tell the world they didn't unalive him. So if they didn't unalive him, then why can't we see the boat? I mean, it's just as simple as that. If I had a boat and I knew nothing happened on that boat, I would say, here, take it. You don't need anything. Here, go through it. I want you to. I want to prove that I didn't have nothing to do. But they've been holding off. They've been very suspicious about that. And Brandon, he's very biased. He's very one-sided, and you can see it clearly. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, we need the likes up, all right? We only got 30 likes in here. I'm thinking we're all going to be riding for Nolan Wales, but clearly you guys are not really riding for him like I need you to. I need everybody in here to smash that like button, okay? Come on now.
That's how this works. True. There's none of these individuals they do not have any expectation that there was any murder that occurred. It's just other people are putting that out to the world. The police department is not investigating the murder. These boys are not suspects.
I agree they're not suspects. They're not persons.
And that's the issue. Why isn't they looking at this as a murder? Nolan Wales is dead. Press 1 if he's dead. He did not drown. He got markings on his back. This is a murder. And this is why people don't trust the police. How could you say it's not a murder investigation and the police is not investigating as a murder? Because clearly the police is corrupt as well. And that's why people are outraged. Did you hear what he said out of his mouth? The police not even looking at it. Mississippi don't even look at it as a murder investigation. They still trying to pin it off as a drowning. They still trying to say this black man did this to himself. And you wonder why I would not trust you with my son's phone. No, because you're going to try to spend it or do something and say, well, we ain't find nothing, or we did this, and you ain't even searching, you ain't even looking. Okay? The games they play. They're going to give it to the police. The police going to do a 1-2 scan. That's not a deep scan, and say, well, nothing to see here, folks. And they just want the phone to be to the police so the police can make a statement said they didn't find any deleted text messages or any deleted photos in Nolan Wales' phone. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to search. They're just going to come out with that. And then that's when the right, the MAGA people are going to say, see there, the Mississippi police said it's no foul play. So therefore it's no foul play. The same Mississippi police that see all these black bodies dead in Mississippi, and they all label them no foul play too. The same Mississippi police that's using the same playbook from 1955, 1950, when they used to do this to black people all the time and get away with it. Mississippi is making Mississippi great again. Okay? It's just as clear as day.
Of interest, they're not suspects. They haven't been charged. But
to believe after interviewing 60 people that he was ever on the boat.
The search of the Triton,
He's not
his boat.
Ordering it. He's not ordering it. The cadaver dogs were made available if he wanted to. No. They made themselves availed themselves to him and said, "Would you like us to search the
you
boat
just
for
said
you
that
to get
about Nolan
information?"
Wells's mom. You said, I almost hate to do this to you. Almost. Tatum, you just said when Crump says we're available and ready, you meant, well, that's no, they haven't handed over the boat. But now you're saying the friends say our boat's available and ready. And I'm not
No,
going to tear
that's
you a
not.
new one
That's
because
not.
the law.
That is exactly the same. Push 10 if it's exactly the same. I get it. It's exactly the same. If you don't get it, you're slow. You're the D word. Okay. The public system has not been good for you. Yeah. So the mom says, we're ready when you guys are. The Triton boat people, Wyatt people say, we ready, available when you are. They're in the same position. But for Brandon, that screams, okay, well, you haven't forked over the phone, so therefore you're not cooperating with them. You're not participating. You're not doing right. You're trying to hide something. But when it comes to the Triton boat people that says they're available, oh, that's different. That's not the same. No. Keep that same energy. But people like Brandon and people like him, they are very selective outrage. They're not equal. They're very selective and they're very biased. Anybody with eyes and ears and understanding can see the bullshit. Okay? But you get mad when people say, well, you haven't forked over the boat, even though you said you're available, but you still haven't forked over the boat. So therefore, you're holding something on that damn boat. Then you want to say, no, that you can't say that. You can't say that. Well, you can't say that the mom is holding on to the phone and not participating with the cops, dummy. Ooh, God forgive me. I didn't want to go there. Let's go.
Nancy,
Enforcement
that's
is the one that needs to go and search the boat.
Nancy.
It ain't rocket science.
The people who had the people who had questions about this, because it's definitely not law enforcement, it was Benjamin Crump. They wanted to get to the bottom. They don't trust law enforcement.
There's not a grand jury? This isn't going to grand jury?
I'm saying initially before grand jury.
Because if it's going to grand jury, then there are questions.
Initially before grand jury, when this first started. And
Thank you, Nancy. This is a grand jury. He talking about initially when we passed that, we in a month ahead, boo. Get on schedule. Get on schedule. A whole bunch of shit didn't happen since when it first came out here. He on some old shit. Trying to always start division. You know?
And Benjamin Crump brought up all of these questions, and they made them availed themselves to him and said, "Would you like for us to search the boat? We'll grant the cadaver dogs for you to go and look at the boat." And he refused. And this is why I'm saying it does not appear
give authority to search the boat.
He can. The boys are cooperating.
I want you to run over to Tatum's house and sniff the hell out of it, because
I would say,
house.
come on over. I would say, no. I said, come on over. The cadaver dogs are made available, but then Benjamin Crump said, well, we don't want it. That's the problem here.
Wait a minute.
They are not pursuing like they claim they are.
Say, here's our boat. Come search it. Did the families offer the boat up to search?
Offered boat, phones, whatever investigators needed, whatever the family needed, they made it available. The family did not pursue any avenue to connect with the boys on any level. The boat, to talk about timeline, to communicate with parents, to communicate with lawyers, they have done nothing. And then now we find out that they haven't even given the phone over to law enforcement so they can do an extraction or a forensic investigation.
Well, stop.
That they can see.
You know what? I respect you, but I'm going to have to cut your mic because we have to be clear about something. Hold on. Philip Dubé joining me. He is a veteran trial lawyer, a defense lawyer. He's joining me out of LA. He practices criminal and constitutional law. Dubé, I don't want to hear either a prosecution or a defense side. a citizen cannot force a search on somebody else's boat. So Crump or Mrs. or Nolan's mother, they cannot force a cadaver dog or a scent dog search on the Triton. Law enforcement needs to bring out a cadaver dog and a scent dog. It's just real simple. It's not hard. Do you agree? They are the ones with authority to do that.
Of course, a lot of these thought leaders and crusaders, the thought leaders and the crusaders can all request it and make sure that there's an in-depth, thorough.
Ooh, it's so sad. Brandon make black men look bad. He make black men look so stupid. She had to bring in a white man to get the facts because Brandon keep on throwing lies and all this bull crap. She had to get a white man to bring the facts. I mean, this just makes black people look stupid. I apologize, okay? No, Brandon, you need to sit down.
Investigation, but they cannot physically and personally initiate it or enforce all the procedures that are necessary to get that underway. One thing they can do, though, is go to the DA's office and ask that it be included as part of the grand jury investigation. Because believe me, Nancy, a grand jury starts investigating and wants all of these materials, including access to the boat, access to the cell phone, it's going to happen. Otherwise, they will suffer the pains of contempt of the grand jury.
Dubé, my point is, Crump, nor Nolan's mother, nor anybody on their team can issue a subpoena or a directive or give permission for somebody else's boat to be searched. So when that was put to Crump, he doesn't have the authority to do that. He's a lawyer. He knows that. And it's not the friend's prerogative either. It's law enforcement needs to go do it.
Correct.
I can't come search your home. That would be trespass.
Correct.
Law enforcement has to do it. That's a yes, no. I don't need a legal discourse. Yes or no?
Yes.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime.
That's right. Nancy don't got time for the bullshit.
His phone is. The family may have it, or it may have been seized or handed over to law enforcement. And if it hasn't, then they, law enforcement, need to issue a warrant for it. It's really not hard. You've executed warrants before, I'm sure. So have I.
Well, you're going to have a reason to get a warrant. And if it's a criminal investigation and they believe that they can find evidence of a crime, if they had access to his phone, I could see them getting a warrant to extract his phone outside of the parent's will. But if you're looking at a potential drowning and there is no criminal element involved and the parents are refusing to give over the phone, they don't believe it's any.
You see that? Drowning. You see how they keep on saying drowning? This is not no drowning. Press 1 if you know this is not a drowning, but this is a murder. Come on now. But this is what they keep pushing. They want you to believe that Nolan did this. He just drowned, on the 4th of July in the afternoon around 4:30. Because that's the last time when people saw him around 3 or 4. So he probably drowned around 3 or 4 with all those people. And then according to the fake witness, the last time they seen him was at 6. So it's still daylight. So it's still a lot of people there at 6 o'clock. So he just drowned in front of all those people. This is a murder, y'all. Okay.
Material evidence there. No, I'm saying this is what the law enforcement agency.
These questions anymore.
Nancy,
I'm
this is
not
what the
saying
law.
they're
I'm giving you a law
refusing
enforcement
or-
perspective.
Nobody said Nolan. You know what? We're really chasing our tails here. We don't know that Nolan's family has refused to hand over the phone. My simple question to you is, law enforcement, if they want the phone, get a warrant for the phone. Go get the
They may
phone,
not
or
Nancy, they don't
communicate
want
to the
phone.
family. Give me the phone.
Nancy, there could be two things afoot. I'm not a part of the investigation, but I can see if they haven't gotten the phone yet It's because they don't need the phone and they don't want the phone. It's not there of evidentiary value.
So what's the point of this? He just said the police don't want your phone. But yet you're going to get upset at her because you're not giving a phone to the police. But the police don't want it. Why would you give the phone to the damn police if the police don't want it? Does that make sense to you? Press 1 if that don't make sense to you. The police don't want your phone. The police don't have a warrant for your phone. They're not after your phone. But yet you want to bash me for not giving my phone over to the police? If I give my phone to the police, they just gonna hand it back because, like you said, they don't want my phone. So which one is it? So why bash me because I'm not giving my phone over to the police when the police never demanded for my phone? Can you make it make sense? You see the bullshit?
There is no suspect here. If it was a drowning and there's indications of a drowning, they may not need it, Nancy, so they're not going to go get it. If they need it, they would have already had it a month ago.
Stop. Okay. Brandon Tatum, are you a medical examiner?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Because what I have been told, and correct me if I'm wrong, don't smile at me. It's not working.
I'm trying.
From what I understand, let's go to the expert. Joe Scott Morgan is joining me, Joseph Scott Morgan, Professor of Forensics, Jacksonville State University, world-class criminal program, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on YouTube, star of a hit series, Body Bags with Joe Scott Morgan, death investigator, over 10,000 death investigations under his belt. Joe Scott, it's my understanding, correct me if you know differently, or Susan Hendricks, Dave Mack, jump in, please, feet first. Both medical examiners have stated to the effect, one says undetermined now, because we're waiting on, I think, toxicology. We don't know the answer. The second one has said undetermined cause of death. That's a yes, no. Isn't that true? We don't have a cause of death yet.
That has been made public. No. They said last week.
So
Hang on.
Tatum,
they said last week. They said last week that the autopsy report is complete, which means they have tox, histo, and they've probably got a cause of death.
Okay, but we don't have the cause of death.
We don't. It has not been released yet.
And the second examiner said undetermined.
Yeah, because he didn't have any organs to examine.
Exactly. Officer Tatum, you keep saying it was a drowning. I have responded, are you a medical examiner? You said no. So how do you know what happened other than what you've been told? I don't know what happened.
Nancy,
I don't know if he was hit on the head. I don't know if he got drunk and drowned. I don't know. So how do
Nancy,
you know?
Nancy, I have to push back on you on this. I did not say it was a drowning. I gave you two options. I said the police could be investigating a crime, and if they're investigating a crime and they have suspects and they need evidence, they will extract the phone with a search warrant against the family's will. If they do not believe that they're investigating a crime that's been committed and it is a drowning, according to them, they may not need the phone. So they're not gonna do a warrant to extract the phone against the family's will. So that's all I'm saying, Nancy. I did not say I know for a fact whichever way it went. I really don't know, and nobody knows except for the people that are investigating.
I heard you.
No.
Yes, you did. That's why I stopped his ass, Nancy. Press 2 if I stopped his ass before Nancy even clocked it. I said something. I said, there he go again. He keep on pushing it or drowning. This is the narrative that he wants. If you don't know what it is, stop saying it. You a damn officer. Stop pushing your agenda. That's all he does, push agendas out here, and I'm sick and tired of it. Yeah, he is a psychopath. Yeah, I'm tired of him.
I just made mention that they may be investigating it as a drowning. The initial findings, or at least the initial report that came out. Are you going to make
mommy do a playback? Am I going to have to do a playback?
Nancy, I did not say that it was a drowning. I said that they could have investigated as a drowning or as a suspect involved in a murder, and that's why they would do certain things and not do others.
My point is, Tatum, we don't know the answer, and this is an investigation to find out what happened. And when you have an investigation, you subpoena documents, items, testimony. There's a grand jury set, that means there is an investigation. You know what a grand jury is, right? They investigate. They have two tasks. One, as an investigation arm. Two, as a charging arm. In both cases, they gather evidence. If they find out this was an accidental drowning, so be it. If they find out he had help getting drowned, so be it. Our point here, and with this, I think you agree, is not to harm anyone's reputation, bury somebody unwarrantedly, name the wrong person. I'm not naming anybody. I want to know what happened to Nolan. I don't understand why so many people are upset about that. And speaking of drowning, I'm actually glad you brought that up, Tatum. To Joe Scott Moore.
I know why people are upset about it, because they want to get away with unaliving a black boy, just like they did in 1950. They want to bring back, make Mississippi great again. Press 7 if they used to get rid of black bodies and nobody would pay for that. Press 7 if they used to do that in America. Press 7 if they used to do it in Mississippi. We already know in this country, it's a whole group of people and billionaires at the top that are pushing the agenda to push America back again. They want to roll it all the way back, okay? And they get off on this type of stuff. Those are real people. Those are real people with those type of beliefs. Those are real facts. Okay. And do I feel like this case have something to do with those people? I do. I feel like those people are helping covering up this murder. I feel like those people want their hands in everything. They want to control everything. They want to flex their muscle. And yes, I do. That's why we're having a hard time. We'll get to the truth now because of them. Yes.
Oregon death investigator. It could be that he did drown, but that does not rule out foul play. It doesn't rule it in.
I think if he would have drowned, the first week they would have said we found water in his lungs. And they would have hurry up and wrap this up because they don't want to talk about a black boy dead unless they're making fun of it, unless they're getting laughs off of it. Now they're making money off of Nolan Wales' death. So that's why they keep on doing the interviews, because Brandon getting money off of it. These white boys are getting money off it. They raising. You got the Trump lawyer. He's pushing his business out there, the Cox call. They don't care about Nolan Wales. They are profiting off of this black boy body. That's what they're doing. They are profiting off of this shit.
It doesn't rule it out. Explain.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, drowning, just so you understand, if somebody, say for instance, has a head injury, right, and they fall into a body of water, all right, that can lead to drowning, right? Because they might still be unconscious but capable of breathing. And of course, if you're in a water environment, you're going to be taking on water. I've worked cases where water has actually been weaponized as a means to take someone's life. But I've also worked, Nancy, a lot of cases involving accidental drownings where people fall over the side of boats. I've even had homeless guys that have passed out face down in mud puddles and have drowned. You never can predict, how any of this is going to happen. All we can do in the morgue, the medical legal community, is assess what we see at that moment in time. When we're trying to look at the lungs, we're trying to look actually at the inner ear. That's one of the areas that we go to with drowning. And we try to assess the brain as well, because you can have the brain begin to swell in these certain circumstances. So there is a huge recipe that goes into this when you're trying to do a fatal diagnosis here. When you're trying to come up and make this assessment, you want to do it necessarily. I think it's best you try to do this independent of maybe what the police are saying, what friends are saying. You objectively look at the science of what's before you, and then after that, you go back in and factor in some of the circumstantial information.
You're seeing video given to us by Officer Tatum's show. Look at all the people out there. Speaking of witnesses, Joe Scott, you dead on. Thanks, Tatum. Because you know what? Somebody saw something, somebody knows something, and they are not coughing it up. And we're going to keep on until they do. Now, speaking of the friends, as you call them, I have no reason to believe them or disbelieve them. This is what you told me earlier. Back to Officer Tatum, star of The Officer Tatum on YouTube. Have the friends taken polygraphs?
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph. And from what was told to me that they
He said it. Did y'all hear his ass? Did you hear his black ass? Press 2 if you heard him. All from one have took a polygraph. It came out of his mouth. And this is a police officer. This is so irresponsible of him. It's okay for me to make a mistake. Shit, I ain't nobody compared to him. I don't got that much numbers. I'm not a police officer. I'm just a regular person. But him, honey, you got a whole badge. And he's out here talking about a polygraph when nobody took a polygraph. Ain't nobody told your ass they took a polygraph. He just makes shit up. He just makes it up. He makes it up. Then he want to clean it up where he just misspoken. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. He lies to himself so much, y'all. It's ridiculous. And this is who the white boys went to defense for. This is who they went to partner up with. Ridiculous. Then they partner up with Trump's ex-lawyer. Ridiculous. If they're not showing you all signs, so remember I told you the white supremacists want to take America back again and Mississippi back again. And I said, I do believe that they have influence on this case. And they got the people at the top that's helping with the money. Remember I said that. Hence why they hired Brandon Tatum to do it. Hence why they got Donald Trump, ex-lawyer, to do it. All these people are aligning with their beliefs. All these people are very political. They didn't get anybody that's neutral. They got their own people because their own people is going to be biased. Just like them. Their own people can be bought and sold just like them. Their own people are going to push any agenda the top gives them like they've been doing. Okay? Lies.
they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And so, and they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding, everybody took a polygraph test. Why do you say that's from what you
understand? Did they tell you they took a poly and passed?
Yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there. So that's what I'm saying from my understanding. They told me that all the boys except one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test. All of them did not have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to what they told me, they all took a lot of tech tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's not a traditional lot of tech test, but it's the same theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's a different methodology. I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze if the people were telling the truth or not.
Did they take?
So why did you lie? Why did you too grown to lie like this? You got kids. Why lie? Why couldn't you just say, no, Nancy, they did not take a polygraph test, but they took XYZ tests? Why lie?
A polygraph would be no. Officer Tatum, number one, they did not take polys. Number two, Warren, as you refer to him, did not take the voice analysis. Why did he not take a voice analysis? Number one. And number two, since we spoke on this last, have they taken polys? And if not, why not?
Okay, let me just make sure clear, because I think the internet went in a frenzy about this. It's a computer voice stress analysis is what I was referring to. none of this is admissible in court, and I don't think it has the weight to concern anybody or whether or not anyone took it or not. I just thought it was important to show the cooperation that they had with the police. Even more cooperation, I believe, almost than the Nolan family. I mean, the boys have given their phones over to the FBI voluntarily, and we still haven't gotten Nolan's phone from the family to the police.
You just said the police don't want Nolan's phone. Press 1 if he just said the police don't want Nolan's phone. Because she said, well, get the police to get a warrant. Well, they don't want a warrant because they don't want his phone. But yet you want to talk about you're not giving the phone over to police. The police did not demand for Nolan's phone. He's so confusing. He is confused in his head. And she asks him a clear question. And he is tap dancing again. He's talking about some other shit. We talking about the polygraph test. You talking about the damn phone. But this is what the white supremacy will have you to do. If you are met by a question that puts you on a spot, then you need to talk about something else, and you need to drag the mom. You need to somehow invoke the mom in and drag her and make it seem like she's a problem. And only stupid people is going to follow him. Only the really very naive and the gullible and the sheep is going to be like, oh, okay. Because they don't think. They like for you to think for them. That's why that same group, that same MAGA people, they're trying to take away women's right. They want your husband to decide and think for you. That's that same group.
So,
are you back
that's
on the
all
phone? Because you don't know. You've already said you don't know where the phone is. It could be sitting on the sheriff's desk for all I know.
Well, if they did it in the last 10 minutes, maybe that could be true.
Oh, so you knew before you joined us tonight that Nolan's family had not handed over the phone?
Well, I have no information to believe it was handed over. The last report from their attorneys that they hadn't handed it over.
So that was your quote understanding, just like you had an understanding that they took a poly and then clarified they did not take a poly. Okay. They have not taken a poly. You don't know why Warren hasn't taken a test. And a computer stress test is a voice analysis. It's not the same as a poly. You also, I asked you earlier, are you a medical examiner? And you stated no. I know you're a star on YouTube. I know you have a huge following. I know you're highly popular. I know you're a former police officer. Are you a Juris Doctor? Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not. I've worked with lawyers.
Okay, because polygraphs are admissible in court. Bam! Providing,
well, Nancy, I have
providing both parties stipulate ahead of time that they will be allowed. I don't care if you've never heard of it.
Nancy is not gonna. I don't know of a trial that has happened, from our understanding in recent time, that somebody put a polygraph before a jury and it was effective. I mean, there is a lot of flaws in the polygraph test.
Have you ever heard of? Let's see, what was his name? Control room. Oh yeah, O.J. Simpson.
Well, that was a long time ago. I'm saying
in the civil trial and showed he was a big fat liar.
Well, what I'm saying is there has not been significant usage of polygraphs in the court of law.
So why bring it up then? Your ass the one to bring it up, the one to tell us, well, they took a polygraph test and you lying. Man, this brother, he make black people look bad. Brandon Tatum makes black people look bad. I'm ashamed. And I'm black. I'm ashamed.
Because there's too many flaws. Even as a police officer, we don't even use polygraphs anymore. Most police departments use the computer voice stress analysis. And neither one of them,
that's not true.
I would trust. Most police departments do not use the polygraph test anymore. They're moved towards the computer stress analysis. My head of security, when he went to the police department, they used the computer stress analysis. And it's not even foolproof. I mean, I would not trust somebody to use that for anybody's
did they take a polygraph? In the famous words of the Bard, Shakespeare.
Nancy,
that's too much. All I said was, did they take a poly? And the answer is no.
They took a voice stress analysis.
Hi, guys.
And like, well, didn't you just say, Brandon, you wouldn't even trust none of it? Didn't Brandon say he wouldn't trust none of it? So why you bring it up as if they did something that's so incredible, that's trustworthy, but yet now you're going to spin the block and say you don't trust it anyway? Because you don't want the boys to take it. She asked you, why haven't the boys taken a polygraph? He still didn't answer that. He started to attack the mom. Is he hard of hearing? Is he hard of hearing?
Nancy Grace here. If you are a home 23,
Why it's certainly not admissible. Either one of these are not admissible and in criminal court. Okay. And that they
Pause
have no
right there. Hold on. Before you take one more step, are you a lawyer and nobody told me? Go ahead, get mad. I
No.
don't care. You're not a lawyer. Dubay, you are a lawyer. Dubay, isn't it true that if both parties stipulate ahead of time in a criminal case, which practically never happens, but if they do, that poly is allowed in court?
If the judge deems it relevant, it still has to meet the relevance.
So then,
threshold.
yes, don't go off on me. The answer is yes. We both know.
Why are they so stupid? Is it relevant? Yes or no? What? I don't understand these men. Is something wrong with men? Is something really off with men? Or do they don't comprehend?
Know the law. It's a yes.
It's a yes. It's a
Okay,
held
so-
yes.
Okay, so there you go, Morgan and Tatum. I hope you have learned something tonight. That said, Joe Scott, as much as I respect you as a death investigator, don't give me the law. Don't. I'll go to Dubay for that.
I'll
Just
give
like
you
I don't
forensic
ask him about
science. I'll give you
autopsies and dead
forensic
bodies.
science,
He
and I will
doesn't
tell
know.
you why neither one of these
Good, tell
tests
me.
are. Yeah, okay, because they're not quantifiable. If you look at the Fry test, if you look at the Dauber
Okay,
test,
never mind.
you
Stop.
cannot. No.
Stop.
Listen.
Do I
you
need to
can't-
Google
I'm
it?
trying-
Because I
No,
will.
I'm trying to
I
give
can
you. I'm
just
trying to
read
give you
it.
some truth
Okay,
here
stop.
that has
I
utility.
asked you the
Nancy.
difference in a voice analysis and a poly. That's the question. Let me refresh your recollection. Do you know the difference?
No, I don't want to know the difference because it has no utility.
Okay, fine.
in a
That's all you
criminal-
had to say.
in a criminal
I'll tell you
case.
the difference. Okay. They are admissible if stipulated. A polygraph measures all sorts of data on your body. It is much more reliable than a voice.
You know what? These white men do not want you to use that test on them because it's going to tell on them, right? They don't want you to use that test on them because it will tell on them. That's the issue. That's why they all against it.
Voice analysis. For all I know, these friends took a voice analysis because it was readily available. I don't know why they did that over a poly. There could be an innocent explanation. They didn't have to do anything, but they did. They did do something, or at least most of them did. That's the question. I want to know, has the boat been searched? I want to know where the phone is. I want to know, have they taken a poly? Is that asking so much? To Tanya Jordan joining us, and Officer Tatum, please jump in if you have a question. If you want to contradict something, I want to know. I want to know the truth. To Tanya Jordan, she's Chief Parent Officer at Bark Parental Control. She's the author of Parenting in a Tech World. To Tanya, we were speaking to Heather Barnhart earlier tonight. Could you explain how a snap disappears and whether it can be grabbed back out of the cloud? Same thing with DMs. Same thing with text messages, photos. A lot of teens think because they hit delete, it's gone. It's not.
It's not. And with regards to Snap, if you send a photo or video and the other person hasn't opened it yet, it sits live on Snap's server for up to 30 days. Same with unread texts. Now, if law enforcement sends Snapchat a valid legal request before the message is deleted, Snapchat will freeze that data and hand it over. But if the message was already deleted before the police asked for it, Snapchat apparently cannot retrieve it.
Isn't it true, Tanya Jordan, that modern technology can prove whether you have deleted anything? There is a digital trail showing if you have deleted photos, text messages, videos, all of that.
Absolutely. I mean, so many people don't even realize that on Apple phones, when they go to delete a photo, there's a whole folder in there called deleted photos where they live for at least another 30 days. Your digital trail is so hard to erase. It's why tech experts like myself tell you when you have old tech that you're no longer using, don't immediately recycle it. Don't throw it away. You've got to give it a water bath to fry every component inside of it, because you can dig up a digital trail very easily and nothing disappears when you're dealing with technical aspects.
And so to you, Tatum, star of The Officer Tatum, we can find out if the friends are telling the truth. It's not going to be hard. They may be telling the truth. We didn't delete anything. That may be true. So it's a digital investigation, and frankly, it's not hard to do. The friends, who I believe now are your friends after your extensive interviews with them, may be completely exonerated on that. Now, my question to you is, you're stating that the friends, I'm talking about the young man on the Triton, that the friends have handed over their phones.
Yes, ma'am. They've handed on their phones to the FBI voluntarily.
I find that very commendable, because do you know how hard it is to get people to hand over a phone? That's why you have to issue a search warrant or a ducus tecum. So they have handed over their phones voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am. According to the lawyer and according to what they told me, they said they handed over to the FBI voluntarily. And the sad part is that I wish that Nolan's phone could be evaluated, because there have been claims that had not been substantiated, and I believe that the claims should have never gone out in the public unless they were substantiated. That
there his ass go running. We talking about the friend's phone, and here his ass trying to drag the mob because he has an agenda. He is pushing an agenda to attack the mom. This is all why he want to get on here, to attack the mother that's grieving. She lost her son, not you.
there was a potential that things were deleted from his phone, which put these young boys in a bad position unnecessarily. It's not fair to say that you're throwing out that things were deleted, but obviously mom can't determine if they were deleted because she couldn't do a forensic investigation on the phone, so she really don't know. Which I'm not
Unless
knocking
she
her as her
looked in the
baby.
deleted file and found things.
Well, she was within Nancy.
Deleted file and found things, and we don't know
And
that.
she would have told.
I agree with you. I
But
think
Nancy,
you
she would have told the
I think
world.
you got it backwards, Tatum. Nobody.
She would have told the
on Crime
world
Stories-
if she would have found. She would have told the world, Nancy, if she would have found certain things that were actually deleted. She would have come out. I'm sure Benjamin Crump would have come out, and I would commend her to come out and encourage her to. If she saw that a picture of Nolan was deleted, a text from Nolan was deleted specifically talking about or inferencing certain things. If any of those things had happened, I would guarantee it should be criminal if they would not turn it over to law enforcement, so law enforcement can evaluate the phone and see if there were individuals communicating or deleting communication, because that is a crime. We just seen that happen in Texas, where young boys, there's a young man that drowned, they go and delete stuff off his phone, throw his clothes in the water, and they were arrested for tampering with evidence. And so if there had been deletions on the phone, even if there hadn't been a determination that anyone had murdered Nolan, tampering with evidence or deleting evidence, potential evidence, is a crime. And so the fact that the family, from my understanding and what the lawyers have said, that they haven't given this information over to law enforcement for them to evaluate, it's very troubling to me.
Okay, again, for the millionth time, you don't know they haven't. And I don't know that they have. But what you're saying about tampering with evidence is absolutely true. But I have no reason to believe that Nolan Wells' family has tampered with evidence. That said, I think you've got things backwards. I do not want to convict or hang an innocent person. All I want to know is what happened. And I haven't even gotten to the Cito call. Is it real? Is it fake? I'd like somebody, i.e. you, if you have the original, to put it out there. But that's it. What? Don't go off on that. Susan Hendricks joining us. Susan Hendricks is a veteran investigative journalist. She's the author of the bestseller Down the Hill, My Descent into the Double Murder in Delphi. She exhaustively researched and investigated the double murder of 2 little girls and came to the truth. Susan Hendricks, you've heard all of the evidence that we've got tonight, and there's so much more we haven't gotten to. I want to hear where things stand now. Is there a grand jury? Is there going to be a grand jury? Where is the phone? Was the boat searched? Just enlighten me in any way that you can, Susan Hendricks.
There is a grand jury. They are investigating. You mentioned Delphi. There's hints of this to me, meaning it's being tried in the court of public opinion. And it's troubling to me that we talk about the mom and we don't know that she didn't hand over the phone. So now she has to go on defense. And as Officer Tatum said, the boat has not been searched by cadaver dogs. So we know that. Grand jury is investigating. And the parents have to suffer through this. And also, all attorneys have to say is, I don't think it's my understanding that she didn't hand over the phone. She wants to know what happened to her son. She wants to know, why wouldn't she hand over the phone? It's just obscene that she has to suffer through this even more.
Well, you hit the nail on the head right there, and you answered a very serious and critical question, and that is, there is a grand jury. Everything Tatum is saying.
Yes, a grand jury. And hand over the phone. Did the police ask for the phone? Did the police demand a phone? Do the police don't have a warrant for the phone. So what am I handing over the phone if the police don't demand the phone? Make that make sense. If you want the phone, police, put out a warrant for the damn phone. Do it. Put out a warrant for the phone. Put out a warrant for the phone. Why haven't the police put out the warrant for the phone? Hello? I want them to do it right. Put out the warrant for the phone and tell the whole world you want the phone for investigation of a murder. I want you to do that. I want you to search that phone and do it right. But I'm not about to go down and just say, here's the phone. For what? For what? Under what? What they gonna do with it? Nothing. Make up a lie? Get the phone, put a warrant out.
And everything I'm saying, you know that phrase in the Bible, Tatum? We are now looking through a mirror darkly. We're looking through a very murky, grimy glass because we don't know. You are saying one thing. I'm questioning that because we don't know. And in the middle of it all, we have got a dead body of Nolan Wells. I don't want to get tangled up in arguments and vitriol that detracts from finding the truth. And I don't take anybody at face value. I don't suspect anybody. And I suspect everybody. I can't tell who's telling the truth. But we will, God help us, find out what happened to this young man. If you know or you think you
Get that boat. Why haven't, and let me call you out. Aura 4367. Tell me, why haven't the white people sent over that boat? Why haven't they sent that Triton boat to the officer? Why haven't they put the Triton boat and said, come on, sniff this Triton boat. I want you to do it. Why? Hell, that's where his body was laid out dead on, the Triton boat. Hello? Hello? Why you quiet now? You see how she run now?
know
When we talk about the boat,
anything, please
what's more important, that damn boat or that damn phone? That phone ain't gonna tell me who killed him. Only thing that phone would do is tell me that some phone pictures was deleted. But that boat, he was on that boat. His body was on that damn boat. He was dead unconscious on that boat. They scrubbed that boat. They put bleach on that boat to clean that boat. It's the boat. That boat.
dial 228-769-3063 tonight. We remember American hero Sergeant Kyle Robert McKee, U.S. Army, killed in the line of duty.
Oh, you heard me call your ass out? Yeah, I said, what about that boat? Why haven't the white people sent over the boat, Aura, the Triton? Why didn't your people give that boat to the cops to sniff? Huh? Huh? That's where his body was at, Aura. Hello? Talk about the boat. Okay? Deleting evidence of crime and would lead to much larger investigation. Okay, it's a crime, but it's about that damn boat. And you know what? Tell the police to put out a warrant for the phone. Tell the police to open up a murder investigation and put out a warrant for the phone. Can you do that? Do it. She'll hand over the phone. Put out a warrant. Demand that phone. Simple as that. Simple as that. Why ain't the police doing their job? Why isn't Mississippi police demanding a warrant to get Nolan's phone? Huh? Why isn't the police putting out a warrant to get Nolan's phone, Aura? Huh? Huh? Now she want to run. Now she don't got answers. Talking about you do it. My people. First is now Aura. Well, honey, Aurora, look, 43, 47, shit, 46, you know what I mean. Don't play in my chat, honey. Oh, my God. Jared gonna say because there's no evidence of a crime. If there's no evidence of a crime, why are you worried about the damn phone? You need to be worried about the boat. That's where we at, the boat, okay? That don't make no sense. Jared, you up here huffing and puffing about a damn phone. Well, like I said, you want the phone? Put out a warrant to get the phone. But see, you're just doing a manipulation. You don't believe it's nothing on that phone. So why you press about the phone? Be pressed about that damn boat. Be pressed about the boat. Don't try to manipulate shit. Okay? Ain't nobody falling for that. Ain't nobody falling for that. Yeah, put out that warrant. That's what you do. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here. Where else are you on live? Oh, I'll probably go live later on tonight. You know I got several different channels. But y'all need to support more. Y'all need to subscribe so y'all can get these notifications. Oh. Well, Trump don't need to hand over shit. Trump don't need to hand over shit. If the police want it, demand for a warrant. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Oh, stop it, or what they might find on the phone. Or stop it. Focus on that damn boat, okay? And focus on that audio call. See, 47? 47. Hold on, where your ass at? 4367. Let me tell your ass something. You need to worry about that audio call, because that audio, it is proof that they did something horrible to Nolan. I believe it's that damn Bart, and they know it. And Jared, you know what I meant. You know I meant Crump, okay? Crump and Trump, don't they sound alike? Okay, well, Ben, shit, you know what I mean. And Aura, stop lying. It is not a fake audio. You make me laugh, child. Talking about a fake audio. That audio was real. Real as the 4C growing out my scalp. Press 1 if that audio was real. Oh, you can't. You just want to make up shit. A black woman enhanced that, honey. Okay? That audio was real. Ain't no way. If the audio was fake, why they not putting her to court? Why they don't have a lawsuit on her? Why haven't they pushed out the original audio? Where's the original audio? Anybody can take that audio and enhance it, and you're going to get the same results. Like, stop it. Oh, Billy, shut the hell up. Talk about your ignorance seems to be no bounds. Billy, you know we're telling the truth. Hell, you heard the audio, Billy. But you know what, Billy? You want to be in denial. And that's the sad part about it, Billy. I like saying your name, Billy. Billy. Oh, God. I don't know nobody named Billy, okay? Ooh, Billy sound funny come out my mouth. Billy. Billy, shut it up, Billy. Ooh, I don't know nobody named Billy, okay? Man, I tell you, y'all crack me up. Ooh, y'all crack me up. Her sister looking in phone booth, Snapchat's account deleted and text message. That's right. Tay Ebony. Yeah. Deleted accounts, deleted text messages. I believe it. The more time go by, the more harder to prove the crime. A lot has been covered with the past. But you know what, 77? When God is involved, it don't matter how long. Do you know sometimes it takes years for them to solve a crime? Press 1 if y'all know sometimes it take that long. It take years to solve a crime. Okay? But as long as God is still involved, and trust me, baby, he's involved. That's why God used that black woman to enhance that audio so the whole world know what it is. When you got billionaires backing this, you got high political people that's backing this. You get what I'm saying? You got the most powerful people in America that is trying to cover for these white boys on Ocean Springs. But what did God do? God came through and shook the table and exposed them and exposed that audio. God intervened, baby. So I don't care how long it takes, as long as God is still at work, honey. Woo! Honey. And you know what? If the white man decide to lie and say it's no foul play, we still know it's foul play. The people know it. And you can't take that back. The people know, just like they lied about history, just like they lie about everything else. They known to be liars. They have a pattern of lying. That's what they do. Lie, rinse and repeat, lie. Okay? That audio is real, Billy. Okay? Woo. If I ever get a dog, I'm going to name him Billy. Come here, Billy. Hey, Billy boy. Come here, Billy. Billy, where are you, Billy? Ooh, I think I have enough fun with Billy coming out my mouth. All right, y'all, I'm going to go. Okay? Bye, Billy. And Aura.